There are more. There are more documents that are being discovered in the Biden household in Delaware this weekend. Well, actually, you see, they were discovered earlier. It's just that the Biden team didn't tell us until this weekend, on a holiday weekend, perhaps hoping this news would just get swept under the rug. I'll tell you, it's not going to be. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trish Regan Show. I am Trish. Good to have you here. Portions of today's program are brought to you by Legacy Precious Metals. For many people, there's never been a better time to invest for the long haul in things like gold and silver. So go over to legacypminvestments.com for more. Again, it's legacypminvestments.com for more, including your free investing guide. Anyway, it makes you wonder here, what exactly Biden is trying to hide. What is this administration doing? Why is it that they're coming out earlier in the week and telling us the whole thing is complete and that they had only found these 2 troves of documents, when it turns out when they said that, when they said this search was complete on Thursday afternoon, it wasn't complete because these documents were found on Thursday night. So I guess we just have to say, like, how many more are coming? We now have learned that Biden was hiding 16 documents in total. This is the 3rd set. Okay, again, this news just breaking over the weekend. The 3rd set of documents has been found. This is in his Wilmington, Delaware home. We don't know if this one was in the garage with the others. Perhaps it was found somewhere else. But don't forget, the president tried to tell us all just a few days ago that the search was complete. His team said the search was complete. And hey, you had nothing to fear. No concerns here because those documents were locked in his garage next to his Corvette. Remember this?
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President.
Okay.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay, so it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
but at any rate,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my Corvette.
Just so we're clear on that one, right? Just so we're very, very clear. It was in a locked garage along with the Corvette. So where were these documents found? I wonder. It'll get more interesting, I'm sure, but I do think that this presents a tremendous political problem for the Democrats overall, certainly for Joe Biden in his quest to run again in 2024, because how are people to trust anything that he is saying? He sits there and tells us the economy's in better shape and inflation is coming down, just like he did again on Thursday. Watch.
As inflation is coming down, take-home pay for workers is going up. Workers' wages are higher now than they were 7 months ago, adjusted for inflation.
Okay, which, by the way, is nothing to brag about because they've been going down for 21 months. Wages, real wages, adjusted for inflation, have been going down for 21 months. So the inflation thing, it's not under control. You're still well over 6%. This is not at a level that is really manageable. We're going to get back to this. I've got a great timeline here on all this because I think there's a ton of questions, including why the heck did no one in the Biden administration think it was relevant to report the news that these documents, classified documents, had been found when they found them days before the midterm elections? That's pretty suspicious. Combined with, again, this new round of being found. I wonder how many in total we really will find. Anyway, before I get to that, back to the economy for a second, because the market is suggesting that, maybe things are going to be okay. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I think that there's a lot of warning signs out there that we need to be considerate of as investors. And it's one of the reasons why I'm such a big advocate for diversification in your portfolio and such a big advocate for really understanding your risk tolerance right now. And one of the reasons why I'm such a big advocate for having things like gold as part of your diversification plan. I want to encourage you to give my friends over at Legacy Precious Metals, one of the sponsors of this program, a ring. 1-866-589-0560. They can help you figure out what is the appropriate amount of something like gold or silver for your portfolio, and they can help you secure that gold or silver. 1-866-589-0560. They do have a free guide that you can get online at legacypminvestments.com. Again, it's legacypminvestments.com. And look, the reality of the situation we now face is that the purchasing value of every single one of our US dollars is continuing to go down. We're now coming up on another debt ceiling. Who knows with this government, frankly, what could happen? They may use this, as they always do, to hold things up and really try to shake the nerve, if you would, of the other side. So I think that the reality is we are going to be facing another debt ceiling. Janet Yellen's already, Chicken Little on the whole thing, but we'll see. I mean, because I think anything is certainly possible, and they will push it to the max, to the end. Again, another reason to have something different in your portfolio to help weather some of these storms. So go to legacypminvestments.com today for more. Again, legacypminvestments.com. But this is truly remarkable when you see here that aides are continuing to find new batches of documents. One, of course, was at the Washington-based think tank that held Joe Biden's name at UPenn. The office, I should say. It was a UPenn office, University of Pennsylvania, but it was actually in Washington. That was pretty disturbing, only in light of some of the reports that have come out, including one from CNN suggesting that this classified information was relevant in terms of both what's happening in Iran and in Ukraine. And you say to yourself, why is this there? And why, by the way, maybe a separate story, maybe not. Maybe people are going to make links to Hillary Clinton and her servers because of this whole mess. But why were they at the University of Pennsylvania? The University of Pennsylvania, which had been funded to the tune of $54 million by communist China. The bulk of that money coming in the door as soon as they put Biden as the headliner on the Biden think tank. That was in 2017. So peculiar and suspicious and basically just kind of unseemly, right? I mean, this makes Lori Loughlin and her husband look like, that was just a walk in the park. You're trying to get your kid in and falsifying some things and saying that they were crew rowers when in fact they had never rowed crew and were too tiny to do so anyway. And you were spending some $500,000 to get your kids into USC. Well, what's going on with China? Because are they spending millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars at the Biden Penn think tank to get something more? These are the questions people are going to have, okay? Whether it's true or not, this is the perception. It does not look good. And it doesn't look good that he held on to this, as did other important people within the federal government system. They held on to it ahead of midterms, and then they continued to hold on to it. Look, Garland has appointed a special counsel now, but is it enough? I mean, Saturday, over the weekend, Richard Sauber, who's the special counsel to the president, said that he accompanied Justice Department officials over to Wilmington on Thursday to retrieve those initial documents from the residence. And during the process, quote, 5 additional pages with classified markings were found among the material, which brings the total to 6 pages now discovered this week for a grand total of some 16. Look, it's not good. And the fact that they knew this on Thursday and were just finding out about on a chilly holiday weekend, Martin Luther King Day weekend, I don't think it's a good sign. Not for the Democrats, not for Joe Biden. Now, you could go down the path that somebody wants him out and the Democrat Party wants him out and they don't want him running again in 2024. Certainly all plausible. Certainly plausible. I mean, there's, very sharp elbows. And I'm sure to a certain extent the knives around. And he just came out and said that he was going to run again. But this is not good overall for the party. And I think that's the real problem that they're going to have here. How do they run? How do they, by the way, go after Donald Trump and his classified documents in light of this situation? Oh, they'll say, he didn't cooperate. And that's the problem. Look, Joe Biden, he's cooperating brilliantly. But is he? Is Joe Biden, is this White House truly cooperating, given that they hung on to these things when they knew all about them until after midterm elections, and then they continued to hang on to them until now? and then told us one thing, said the search was complete. They had found what they needed, and now, Saturday, more come out. Look, how many more troves of documents are we going to find? I think that's a real question right now. It is so good to have you here. I just appreciate all your support. It's really important the truth be told. So thank you for subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube, on Rumble, and of course to the podcast on Spotify, where we are every day, or Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. I do want to leave you with this, because another one of our great sponsors happens to be Rough Greens. I talk about them every single day because I love my dog so much. I'm not afraid to admit that. I love my dog. As a result, I'm thrilled to have Rough Greens on board as a sponsor. It was started by naturopathic doctor Dennis Black, who created the company. He's an airborne ranger, Green Beret, Vietnam-era helicopter pilot, really the whole deal. Just an amazing background. He loves dogs so much that he's now committed to helping as many as he can, because he knows what you and I know, and that's that dogs need nutrition too. So you've heard me say before something that he has said, which is dog food is essentially dead food. It doesn't have all the nutrients it needs. And so it's up to us as pet owners to give something more, which is why he has created this supplement. You can keep your dead food that your dog might like, but you really need to jazz it up with this supplement. It contains essential vitamins, minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, all those things, antioxidants, all the things that your dog needs for a healthy, happy life. So get your free Jumpstart trial bag, right now so your dog can try it. All you have to do is go to roughgreens.com/Trish, my name, roughgreens.com/Trish today. And I think your dog will be very happy. I know Fluffy certainly is. But again, thank you for watching the show as always. This is an important time. We got a lot to discuss as we hear a lot of different sort of falsehoods, if you would, on the economy. I think that's all going to come out to be, unfortunately, not what anyone wants. We are going to be continuing on in a pretty anemic kind of situation. You saw JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon coming out and once again echoing his concerns of recession. He said just the other day that recession is now the norm, the expectation. And I think that's getting baked in more and more into some of the analyst estimates. I don't think it's been fully baked into this market. And that's why I just urge caution. The one silver lining, as I've said before, is that you may have some opportunity in the fixed income space, which we haven't had for a while. In other words, treasury bonds, things like that could really be safe vehicles, assuming they don't do anything totally crazy with this debt ceiling. We'll continue to watch it. I'll continue to be on it. And I will see you right here on Monday.